Hello and welcome to this tutorial, which is a brief overview of WAN connectivity by using ATM. So ATM stands for Asynchronous Transfer Mode, and this is a Layer 2 protocol, and it was formed in the early 1990s. Now ATM supports very high link speeds. It's not uncommon to see a 45 megabit per second ATM circuit, or on the higher end, 622 gigabits per second link. That's sometimes referred to as an OC12. In case you're curious, the OC stands for optical carrier. And so ATM was designed to support voice, video, and data. And this was a relatively new approach because at the time, the PSTN was primarily handling voice, very time-sensitive, delay-sensitive traffic, and technologies like frame relay were handling data only, perhaps traffic that was a little bit less sensitive to being delayed. Well, ATM comes along and says, I can support all of these. And ATM ended up being deployed on a lot of network backbones where a very quick transfer of packets is crucial. So a lot of ISPs would use ATM backbones. Now, ATM is a lot different in terms of packets. In fact, it doesn't use the concept of a packet that we've talked so much about. Rather, ATM uses the concept of a cell. And so instead of having all these packets which are different sizes being routed over a network, ATM cells are fixed length. They never change. Every single one is always the same size, and that size is 53 bytes long. And so this cell is made up of two portions. The first one is the payload, or where all the data goes, and that's 48 bytes long. The second one is the header, and that's the remaining 5 bytes long. Now inside that header, there's a two-part connection identifier. And you'll hear these acronyms thrown around a little bit when you talk about ATM. The first part of the connection identifier is the VPI, or Virtual Path Identifier. And the second part of the two-part connection identifier is the VCI, or the Virtual Channel Identifier. Now these two together enable a cell to get from point A to point B. And if this talk of virtual things sounds a little bit familiar, well, ATM is similar to frame relay in that it uses virtual circuits as well. So there's a correspondence there. There's a similarity between ATM and frame relay insofar as virtual circuits are used. Now at this point in the game, you don't have to configure any ATM interfaces, but this was just a brief introduction to the technology and some of the concepts that may come up when you're talking about ATM and how to differentiate it with some of the other WAN connectivity options. Okay, so that's it. That's WAN connectivity by using ATM. Thanks for watching.